Your Excellency, thank you for speaking to us in this discussion, and esteemed guests, welcome. We have a very interesting conversation at hand. As you've heard from the panels and discussions earlier, the amount of people coming to the UAE, Dubai has surpassed 4 million. Abu Dhabi was already past 4 million and had 7.5% growth last year. So the population is surging. And of course, with that comes pressure on infrastructure, housing, all of those things. Can you talk to us a bit about what your plan is to accommodate this in the years to come?
Well, thank you for having me. I think we're in a beautiful place this morning. We have an amazing few days coming, interacting with a lot of decision makers, mind thinkers, and it's great to see people that haven't seen for a while. Um, to look at the population growth in Abu Dhabi, we have to look at a lot of different components, especially infrastructure. And we're very glad that we had a very good problem that we're trying to solve now. Our plans of Abu Dhabi and to our urban plan of 2030, we were supposed to reach to a population of 2.4. We're glad that in 2024 we reached that population. So this tells you there's a lot of growth that happened, a lot of influx of residents, investors, entrepreneurs that see a lot of opportunities in Abu Dhabi. And now we have planned the new 2040 urban plan to accommodate double that population.
Amazing.
And to accommodate that, we have to have a proper infrastructure. A lot of people think infrastructure is construction. But when you look at infrastructure touches a lot of different economic sectors. It touches hospitality, healthcare, education, construction, transportation. So when the government actually pumps a lot of investment into infrastructure and developing these assets, there is a lot of multiplier effect that generates economic cycle in a lot of different sectors. What Abu Dhabi have done is trying to invest now over 240 billion worth 240 billion dirhams worth of infrastructure projects in the next 10 years. And to do that, this cannot be done only by the government. And that's why we are involving the private sector in a lot of different programs to move as fast as possible, because we believe the more infrastructure is there, the more we can actually generate more economic sustainability, economic growth, and increase our resident exposure to Abu Dhabi's infrastructure.
And also, a point of conversation today was, in addition to expansion of infrastructure, was also maintaining the quality of livability in Abu Dhabi, because that's something that has been attracting people to come here. Is that part of your strategy as well, about the social benefit as well, when it comes to this infrastructure?
You've touched on a very important point, and this point is really very close to our leadership in Abu Dhabi. We developed a new strategy called Livable and Lovable. So again, it's not only the assets that we try to build, it's not the physical asset, but there's a lot of non-physical aspects and the quality of those assets, and how can they be a contributor to nationals and residents, tourists that are coming to Abu Dhabi. So we have to look at the complete journey of all the components of our population, even blue collars. Yeah, we are actually involved in every single district in Abu Dhabi. I'll give you a very simple program that we've just developed. It's the livability program. A year and a half ago, we developed a livability program. We called it Livability 1.0. Beginning of 2026, we are introducing our 2.0 program. And this will include 120 different components of quality of services related to our infrastructure, from education, from cycling tracks, from accessibility to healthcare, accessibility to social services, running, how we can introduce more national topics to the population. We are considering the assets as given from a physical point of view, but it is very important that we try to develop all these infrastructure with the assistance of the private sector. The government of Abu Dhabi is a rich government. It's not the matter that we are looking for financing, but I think it's important to introduce private investment into our infrastructure as well. Let's talk about, for example, our smart city program. We started investing into smart city program for the last 2.5 years. We developed our digital twin programs. We introduced autonomous vehicles. Now you see them on the streets for the last 6 months. And this was all because our leadership's push to introduce more technology in our livability programs. And autonomous, for example, was introduced through the Autonomous Council headed by Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohamed bin Zayed on how we can generate more regulatory policies and trying to create us being a benchmark. A lot of countries in the world, in Western Europe, in North America, in Asia, they all have autonomous vehicles, but they are very stringent into policy making and introducing new policies, especially in creating sandboxes for entrepreneurs to come and develop these technologies. We became an attractive city that introduces policies with safety as a priority, but giving them the opportunity to come and showcase and introduce their technologies in Abu Dhabi.
And that's what I wanted to ask you about next, because Abu Dhabi has risen 5 positions to become 5th in the IMD Smart City Index. And I work, with the national in Yes, and I remember seeing a vehicle approaching pedestrians. I thought there was no one in the driver's seat. I thought I was going to have a hero moment and have to go stop a car, but then realizing there's someone in the back seat, monitoring this autonomous vehicle. So with this being the future, and I think this is what you're talking about, right? In terms of you're not only talking about things happening now, but these investments are taking place, have output in the years to come. Can you describe, when you're building a smart city, how you're using AI and other technologies on the back end to be able to make all this cohesively work together, from micro-mobility to autonomous vehicles and the like?
From municipality and transport point of view, we have tons of data, really tons of data. And if you have the right data available for you and trying to develop a clear foundational platform that creates insights for not only policymakers and regulators, but also entrepreneurs to identify opportunities within the community, they can come up with a completely new, different type of products that we believe are important for our smart city programs. That's one. Two, as you mentioned, we've moved up 5 ranks, and we moved 5 ranks in 12 months. And this is incredible effort. And this is not only the part of municipality transport, because IMD takes the scores of healthcare, education, transportation. And this tells you that our leadership's North Star have already been implemented and being developed. And IMD score is telling us, yes, you're on the right track, and to start pushing. A very important introduction was our green parks. Abu Dhabi in end of 24 and mid 25, we introduced 220 green parks in Abu Dhabi communities, in Abu Dhabi City, Al Ain, and Al Dhafra area. How are we doing this? We are just, everybody is working toward one single strategy. From a transportation point of view, we started introducing technology within our current roads and getting VOX data to the cars and the technologies to enable drivers to understand where is the best way. It's not just putting a Google map and telling you where you need to go. No, it tells you data that can help you not only plan, but also understand where are the problems that you can avoid by not facing them. So I think Abu Dhabi as a government, and I think you know this very well, our TAM application has been renowned internationally, and we use a lot of artificial intelligence into that. And by doing that, we're using AI in our urban planning, identifying where is the right development needs to be, what is the required transportation right of way, or identifying where are the utilities that needs to be moved. The faster we can introduce AI into our life, into our policy making, into our regulatory framework, makes our life easier. But again, the reflection is on the people that are living in Abu Dhabi.
Definitely. And you have a short amount of time left, so I'll wrap my last 2 questions into one. Can you talk about as well when you're introducing all this AI, all this infrastructure? We had ADAPEC, a month back, and talking about, power is knowledge, meaning that you need energy to power all of this. The sustainable impact of this is going to be immense over the years. Sustainable in terms of impact, on sewage, on transport, to maintain that livability. And also to do all of this, a lot of capital is needed. So is this part of your strategy to look at the sustainability aspect and also to attract the right type of capital to maintain this momentum?
See, I'll be honest with you, we've been seeing a lot of interest from a lot of private equity companies, from pension funds that see Abu Dhabi as a great opportunity for the long-term returns, because they understand that the credit rating of Abu Dhabi government is one of the top. Number three, they understand that we are developing what is needed for the future, not only what's needed now, because we are trying to plan for what needs to come. And that this is an ongoing exercise that we keep always our eye on the board and our North Star. But the most important thing is that we see our real estate sector is picking up tremendously. Prices are going up, and that's why now we are also trying to control pricing.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of attraction from international real estate development companies, not only our current UAE national real estate companies. And this tells you that there is a lot of interest in Abu Dhabi. There's a lot of not only interest from an investment, but also an interest from people moving their families, their businesses, people that they want to work, live, and actually retire in this part of the world. And we are not trying to compete with anybody. I think Abu Dhabi has its own natural, consistent approach from a livability point of view. The key to all of this is how we are connecting all of these projects and developments around. But again, how Abu Dhabi is trying to attract private investment to come and develop these infrastructure projects is very important, that we are all working together by either from Abu Dhabi Investment Office or Department of Economic Development, even Department of Municipality, attracting investors that we see that can add value. It's not only about the money, it's about adding value to what we are trying to do. Again, livable and lovable.
Definitely. And we have 30 seconds left, but maybe looking at the bigger picture as well. When looking at what all this investment is doing to the greater picture of Abu Dhabi and the UAE in terms of economic diversification, can you talk about which sectors are the key ones that you think the investments you're making will contribute to?
As I told you at the beginning, I think the introduction of infrastructure projects, it touches a lot of sectors. But the most important ones, obviously, construction and manufacturing. We see a lot of manufacturing companies setting up in Abu Dhabi because of the magnitude of infrastructure projects that are coming. We saw a lot of new construction companies coming and setting up in Abu Dhabi, and we've eased out a lot of the regulations to make it much easier for those construction companies to come and set up shop in Abu Dhabi. Transportation sector is becoming a very important contributor to our GDP, especially when we start introducing infrastructure projects in Abu Dhabi. It touches a lot of, so it's not only
Never one specific, correct?
absolutely.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for your time. We're out of time, but there's so much more to ask. But wish you the best of luck and doing amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.